Hello everybody, I'm Melissa and welcome back to Book Bar and welcome to another vlog. I realized I never filmed the intro for this. So in this vlog, you will see me read the entire Eden series. So stay tuned to see my thoughts on each book. I'll talk to you all in the next one. Hello, I have finished Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry. This is the first book in the Eden series. I am attempting to binge this entire series this month. This follows Winslow and Griffin, and Winslow is going to be the new chief of police in town, and her grandpa is the mayor, and he tells her if she wants to fit in with the town, she needs to get in with the Edens. Well, on her first night in town, she accidentally sleeps with Griffin Eden. Not knowing who he is, she thinks he's like a tourist. He thinks she's a tourist. And, you know, things start happening between the two of them. And when someone ends up dead on his land, on Indigo Ridge, a young girl, everyone thinks it's just a suicide related to a bunch of other suicides, and something in Winslow's gut is telling her that that's not true. And so she's investigating this, and as she's investigating this, she draws closer to Griffin and his family. And yeah, it was a great time. I gave it 4.5 stars. I had a blast with it, and I'm really excited for book 2. So I'm not gonna say a ton about each book because it is a 6-book long series with 2 novellas. So I'm just gonna do like basics, and then I will rank them all and talk about them all at the end. So yeah, I'm gonna go and continue reading, probably start the next book, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Hello, good evening. I finished Juniper Hill and I'm giving it 5 stars. This book was so amazing. It made me cry. This year I'm trying to like every week pick like my favorite read of the week, and I think like I don't know that anything will top this week, although I did read another book that was, but this one, like, I don't know, it was so good. This is Memphis and Knox. Knox is the second Eden brother. He's the second oldest, and Memphis is the new, she's working for the Eloise Hotel. She's going to be a house cleaner, and she had called Eloise and was like, I don't think I can actually come work there. I don't have anywhere to live. And so Eloise is like, oh, I have somewhere where you can live. And so she tells Knox like, oh, this girl's gonna come live with you. And so, Memphis's son, Declan? Why can't I remember his name? He was adorable. Why can't I remember his name? Damn. How am I forgetting? Drake. Why did I call him Declan? Drake is very much like, he does not like to sleep. Like, he wakes up in the middle of the night every night. And Knox hears this, so he like goes over and like tries to help out. And as they're doing that, like, they form a friendship and a bond, and then, you know, one thing leads to another. And I loved it. I loved it. I did think the like ending, like, 3rd act drama, it was nothing to do with like anything with their relationship. It just, it was a little out there, but I still gave it 5 stars. I cried, I laughed, I had a great time with this. So yeah, I'm excited to continue, and I will be reading Garnet Flats next, obviously, because that's next. I'm actually taking it with me on vacation, so hopefully I have an update when I'm back. And yeah, I'm having a blast reading this so far. We'll see if it continues. I mean, I'm only 2 books down, but I feel like they've been different enough that it's not like I'm gonna get burnt out. Like, sometimes when you read like I can't read like 4 Catherine Cowles books in a row because they're all the same. Whereas I feel like these have had a little bit different on them. So yeah, I'm excited to continue, and we will see what happens next. And I will talk to you all in the next one. Hello. I have finished Garnet Flats by Devney Perry, and I absolutely adored this. Unpopular opinion, I know. I think a lot of people didn't love Foster. I absolutely adored him. I thought he was fantastic. I give this 5 stars. Talia and Talia and Foster, like, I thought they communicated great. Everything that happened was just absolutely amazing. I loved it. I think I read this, like, it took me the longest to read this one, but I was also on vacation, but like, I would read the biggest chunks at a time of this one. Like, it was unputdownable, but obviously, like, it took me a while because, like, there were a couple days where I didn't read any because I was on vacation. But yeah, just fantastic. So Talia, if you don't know, second chance is my favorite trope of all tropes. And Talia and Foster dated while Talia was in undergrad, living in Vegas, and Foster was a fighter. And one day he comes to her and says, "I'm marrying your best friend." And she was blindsided, had no idea. And now it's 7 years later, and he can finally get divorced from her best friend, and he's ready to win her back and explain to her what happened 7 years ago and everything that has happened. And it has the tattoo for you trope, and there's an adorable kid, and there's there's sports in this because he's a boxer or MMA fighter. It was fantastic. I loved it. 5 stars. And I also have a really quick little unboxing to do. Of course, I get this at the end of my sickness. They were delayed, which is terrible. Then I got, I had a gift card, and I want to get all of the rest of the couple covers of the Elsie Silver's first series. So I have got this one, and now I just have to get one more, and the novella, if I can find it. But I'm really excited to have this one. I have not read this one yet, so I will definitely be picking it up ASAP. And then the last thing is I got my stickers from Mel at Mel Lenora Reads for her being part of her Patreon. She does, like, every other month she does a bookmark or sticker. And Mel, this is very there was a little thank you card, and then the stickers are new books only and death by TBR. True story. So yeah, that is all I have for now, and I will talk to you all once I have finished Jasper Vale. Hello, I have finished Jasper Vale by Devney Perry, and I'm giving it 4 stars. I hated Jasper for most of this book. Absolutely despised him. Like, I could not get on board with this man. Like, Eloise just wanted to have some conversations and wanted to be there for you, and you wouldn't let her in, and you were a jerkhole to her family. And okay, I understood his, like, thought process, but it still was just, it was horrible. I hated him for 90% of this book, but that last 10%, he really redeemed himself. And I did truly believe that they were, like, meant to be in the end. But basically, this follows Jasper and Eloise. Eloise is the manager of the Eloise Inn, which is the hotel in Quincy. She is named out, which is named after her great-great-grandma, who she is named after. I think it's her great-great-grandma. Could just be great. Could be 3 greats. I don't remember. Somewhere along those lines. And Eloise has, like, the hotel is her, like, heart and soul. She's wanted to own it forever, with Griffin taking over the ranch, and then Knox taking over the restaurant, and Lila owning Eating Coffee. She thinks she's poised to take over the hotel. Well, you can read the series in order. You know that in Juniper Hill, Eloise's parents offer the hotel to Jasper, or to Knox, and Eloise freaks out and quits. And you learn a little bit more in this one about, like, what happened with the whole lawsuit that happened, and Eloise is just, like, she has to jump through all these hoops. And I really, like, resonated with her, because it's like, I've been dealing with some stuff at work, and I feel like the needle, like, there's an end line, a finish line, and I get to the finish line, but then it gets pushed back even further. And that's kind of how it was for Eloise. Like, she jumped through all these hoops. She did everything. She was doing all this stuff. She was helping her parents out. She was doing everything they asked, and it still wasn't good enough. And I felt like they were, like, taking advantage of her, and, like, part of me also thinks that they wanted her to, like, push back on them a little bit, like, with the whole Blaze thing, which, if you know, she should have trusted her gut from the beginning, but I think that they kind of wanted her to push back, but they didn't. But anyways, her and Jasper is Foster from book 3's best friend. They get married in Vegas when Eloise and Lila are at Foster's UFC match. And he then, a month later, decides that he wants to stay married for a little while, pretend to be married, so she can prove that she's responsible, and also so that he can have her as a date to a wedding that he was invited to. And yeah, like I said, I ended up believing it in the end, but I struggled with Jasper for a good portion of this. This one was a lot more like focused on the sex than any of the other books in the series, which I feel like I don't always need a heavy petting romance. I don't need a ton of sex in a romance for me to enjoy it. If it warrants it and it makes sense, I love it. I've read plenty of books that are very heavily focused on the sex. With Devney Perry, where I feel like she hits is when it's not heavily focused on the sex. And I know that was a part of this story, was that he was using sex as a way to not communicate. But I've already, spoiler alert, started the fifth book. The fifth book in the series. And it's kind of doing the same thing. And I don't know. I liked the slow burn aspects of the first two and a half books of the series. Like, Garnet Flats had a sex scene pretty early on. But it made sense because it was a second chance romance. And it was more of like couldn't keep your hands off of, Talia couldn't keep her hands off of him type of situation. But yeah, I don't know if I'm coherently gathering my thoughts. But yeah, it was 4 stars. It's probably my least favorite so far. But still solid, enjoyable. Yeah. That's all I have for now. I'm going to go. And I will talk to you all when I have finished Crimson River. Hello. I have finished Crimson River by Devney Perry. Obviously. This is the fifth book in the Eden's series. This is Lila, who is Talia from book 3's twin, and Vance. And Vance is the only character that is not introduced, like, in a previous book. Like, we don't get anything about him in the epilogue, nothing. But in the epilogue of Jasper Vale, Jasper and Eloise tell Lila that she needs to go have a day to herself and get out of the bakery, because Lila does own Eden Bakery or Eden Coffee or something. I don't remember what it's called. She owns the bake shop. And they're like, you need to go. You need to have a day. You've been at work for 100 days straight. Like, you need to take some time for yourself. Well, she goes and takes time for herself. But while she is out on her favorite hiking trail, she sees a hunter, and he decides to attempt to strangle her. And it was very weird and shocking, and she like almost died from it. And then it's like a couple days, weeks later, and this guy Vance comes to town because he, like, the description of the man and everything sounds very familiar to a case he's been hunting for 4 years. And so he comes to Quincy, and he just happens to go into the coffee shop and meet Lila and realizes, like, that she's the one that had been strangled. And he grows close to her, and they, like, have an instant, it's very insta love, like, they're instantly connected. And she kind of helps him figure things out about what happened that day, and he is keeping some secrets about his connection to this case. And yeah, it was very interesting, but I had a good time with it. I gave it 4.5 stars, rounded down to 4, because, like, I didn't like it as much as, like, Indigo Ridge, which also got 4.5 stars, but I rounded that one up to 5. This one got rounded down because I just felt like it wasn't as solid. Like, it's probably it's probably my 4th favorite in the series so far. So second to last favorite, but it does set up Sable Peak so well, and I am super excited to get to this one. I will say that I hate this cover because all of the rest are indie published. They all have, so the spines are different. They're slightly different sizes, and this one is shiny. Like, it's not super shiny, but it's shinier than just the straight matte. Like, this one feels nice. I don't know. I'm kind of bummed that this one is different, so we'll see. But I'm excited. This is Mateo and Vera, who we meet at the end of Crimson River. She has something to do with Vance. So yeah, I'm excited to continue, and I will be done with the series, and I'm nervous, but I'll talk to you all in the next one. Hello. Last night I finished Sable Peak, which is the final book in the Eden series by Devney Perry. And I absolutely loved this. I gave it 5 stars, which is a very unpopular opinion on Goodreads. But I loved it. I couldn't put it down. Vera and Mateo gripped me from the beginning. This starts off, it's literally just told from Vera's point of view. At the beginning, the first probably third of it is just from Vera's point of view, and it's like from the time she moves to Quincy with Vance until something happens with her and Mateo, and she's pining after him and like falling for him and crushing on him and seeing him grow with his daughter, like grow with as being a father and everything. And then something happens one night when they're out, and then it flips a switch in Mateo, and he realizes like he might have been looking at her too the whole time. Like, he might not have realized that she crushed on him, and he might have been staying away for reasons, but he may have been falling for her the whole time as well. And it was just absolutely, so then the second part is sold dual from Mateo and Vera's perspective, and I absolutely loved it. And like I said, I give it 5 stars, and the epilogue was beautiful, and yeah, it was just such a good time. I had a great time with the series. I will be back shortly to wrap up the whole series and the vlog and everything, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Okay, so I have finished all 6 books in the Eden series, and I had a great time with it. I did like that some were more suspenseful than others. So like these 2 were probably like the most like romantic suspensey, and then like these 2 both had single parents. Like, actually these 3 had single parents, and they had all sorts of different tropes. Single dad, or second chance, grumpy sunshine, one night leads to more, like heroine who has tons of trauma, almost murdered, like secrets. It was a great time. I had a fantastic time with them. I will say that Juniper Hill is probably my favorite, with Sable Peak a very close second, and then Garnet Flats was third. Then I'd probably go Indigo Ridge, Crimson River, and Jasper Vale was last. So that is my official ranking of them. I just absolutely loved the way that with both of these 2 books, with this one how Knox was with Drake, and with this one how Vera was with Allie, and it was just adorable, and I had a great time with them. But yeah, so I definitely recommend this series. I had a great time, and I don't know that I would recommend reading them all back to back to back again, because it was a lot, and it's a lot, you know. It isn't, like, they don't all follow the same beats, which is nice. Like, I love Catherine Cowles, but I can't read her books back to back to back because they all follow the same beats. I can't read Kennedy Ryan back to back to back because her books are all emotional. So we're like, I cried in this one, and I cried in this one, the 2 that I liked the most. But none of the rest made me cry. This one was kind of suspenseful. This one was suspenseful, but they were far enough apart in the books. This was book 4 or book 1. This was book 5. Like, they were all different enough that it wasn't terrible reading it back to back to back. But yeah, I'm glad I did this. author binge or series binge. I do enjoy doing them. Just knocking out a series, especially like to start the year. It's like I got a series done already. Like, it's fantastic. So yeah, that is all I have for now. If you made it to the end of this video, leave me a mountain emoji because these all take place in like the Montana mountains. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. It really helps me out. And I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye.